Obviously, we got South Dakota State here this week, and you know, it's a chance for us to come out again in front of our home crowd here in the month of October, and we need home field advantage again, like always. Illinois State game, we had a great crowd, and I felt like it was potentially the difference in the football game, you know. And one thing our players do is get energized when they see their passion for the game of football, and we obviously want to play hard and give them something to cheer about, and they've stuck by us, so we'll continue to work on that. And they bring a good football team in here. Don't be misled by their record, by no means. Coach Stiegelmeyer, he's a fox. He's got a good football team. He's just got a young quarterback right now. He knows it. They got a bunch of returners on the offensive line. They like to run the ball inside. They're very physical, and they run the ball hard. And been throwing the ball, especially here recently, really well. So we'll have our hands cut out for us. And then defensively, I've always, you know, since I've been in the league, watched them, and they're a team that kind of keeps everything in front of them. Kind of play a read-style defense. Been a little bit more aggressive at times this year, but probably as deep as linebacker crew as anybody in our conference. They've got 6 guys that can play, and you know, they're breaking in some new guys there in the secondary, but they've played enough football now that they're broke in well, and they got a good front. They're very strong and physical, and I think that's a compliment to their strength and conditioning coach over there. They like to lift weights and eat the proper amounts of protein and do the things you need to do to be a good football player.
Do you sense your defense has a little bit of a chip on their shoulder just with the bad taste they left the field in a couple
I would hope so. You know, I know that we're all a little bit hostile right now. You know, and the State's a good football team. Take your hat off to them, but we felt like we gave one away, and we feel like we're a pretty good football team too. And you know, it is what it is. Move forward, but it's time for us to come out and play some Youngstown State football.
A couple of depth chart questions. I saw Will Shaw got moved.
Will Shaw, we're going to look at him a little bit on defensive line. Just trying to get some more quality depth at the defensive end position. Will has a physical presence that we need, so we're trying to give him a look in there, see how he does. We need some more presence on the edges. So he's a physical body, strong. You know, and it was tough for him to crack it in there with Rogers playing so well and Carson Starbaugh. Those 2 guys have really played well, so it's been a tough lineup to crack. And I look at over there on defensive end, he potentially could be our best 3rd or 4th guy with a little bit of seasoning.
Eric, is that someone you just need on the field?
I think you have to find a way to get a guy like that on the field. You know, it's easier said than done sometimes. You know, the move to offense looked really good, and then some things didn't progress as fast as I thought. I mean, he can run and stretch the field, but you know, right now I think we've got to shore up some things on our defensive line at the defensive end position. I want to see us have more of a physical presence at the defensive end position. I feel pretty good about our interior. We're pretty stout, but we need to be a little bit tougher and a little bit stronger at the defensive end position on the edges.
The other one was, you maybe just talk about John Sasson's role in the team right now.
Well, John Sasson is a guy that obviously was voted team captain. He's been around here for a long time, and he still plays quite a bit. You know, it's a situation where whoever plays better the previous game is who we're going to roll with. He's playing a lot on special teams there. He's obviously, you know, a leader for us on and off the field, and does everything right and wants to help in all ways he can. And you know, I think he's given us all the effort and everything you can ask of a guy in his role.
Coach, what do you think is the biggest accomplishment that you made as a team during this week when you were prepping for the game?
Well, I think the biggest thing that probably are 2 things that we wanted to set out to do is get better at some things fundamentally that I felt like maybe we're sliding a little bit. And I think what happens sometimes is we get caught up a lot of times as coaches in coaching plays, and we lose a little bit of our fundamentals. And I think some of our fundamentals showed up in the Indiana State game. So we want to get better at some things fundamentally. And I think I needed to have a little bit of a reality check. You know, we've had some guys around here that have had kind of some instant success. You know, Hasn't been a lot of competition or quality competition, so they come in here and have some success, and you need to have a little bit of reality check. You know, everyone has a job to do, and you know, if you're not doing your job 100%, then lets the rest of the team down. So we had a little bit of a reality check there, and I guess that's somewhat to be expected with a young football team, but we're not going to use that as an excuse by no means.
Has South Dakota State gotten better with the freshman quarterback, or are they pretty much?
I think they have. You know, I think the he's playing really well. Sumner's playing really well. He's 6'5", 224 pounds. He has a presence to him. It looks like the guys around him are bonding. You know, I think their interior, on their offensive line, their interior three, their guard and center, those guys are as good as anybody in the league. You know, they may not get the recognition, but that center and right guard are as good as any combination as I've seen. It'll be a real challenge for us inside, and I would expect them to probably come out and challenge us in the run game, see if we can hold up in the run game. You know, I've felt like, you know, obviously watching last year's game, being in the game, and then watching the year before prior to us being here, is I felt like South Dakota State was a team that physically outmatched us, and it's very difficult to say, you know, but that's the truth of the matter, and it's a compliment to them and their coaching staff and their players and Coach Stiegelmeier and what he stands for.
Coach, in visiting with your couple players beforehand earlier today, they said that it was all on them for maybe coming out a little bit flat. What is key for players to come out? So they said the schemes were there, the coaching was there, but so this Saturday, what's key for them so that they don't come out flat?
You know, it's there's a fine line there. You know, I've explained to them several times that I can't scream and yell like a madman, you know, and almost have a heart attack every game. But there's a maturity level that needs to take place, and you know, I feel very confident in the plays that and the schemes and the plays that we put out there. They work. They've worked over time. They worked everywhere we've been. All you have to do is just take care of your business and do your job and make sure you're ready to play. And, you know, I think you can manufacture a lot of excuses about why we weren't ready to play. At the end of the day, I don't think we were mature enough to come out and be ready to play. As far as, hey, it's time to go. And if they have a big player, you know, you have any game, you have adversity. How are you going to handle adversity? And I don't think in the first quarter we handled adversity very well. And, you know, I kind of put the blame on both sides of the ball. A lot of people want to point in one direction, but my philosophy has always been, every time the ball's in our possession, we expect to score. Period. There's no other result. Score. And we came out and fiddle-faddled around on offense. And, you know, we could have easily made it 7-7. You know, and then what happens? You know, our defense gets a chance to get settled down, get a couple of things corrected, whatever. Instead, it's one play, touchdown, 3 plays and out, they got the ball again. So it's a team effort. You know, teams don't blame each other. You just come together and learn from it. And you know, I'm confident we've learned from it, but let's see.
I get the sense that, I mean, I know you want to go 1-0 every week, but this is a pretty pivotal week for you guys.
Crucial game. I mean, I think all games are crucial. I think all games are big. This is a conference game. You either, you know, come out of this game taking care of business or you don't. And if we want to stay in the conference chase, you guys can see the standings. That's, I mean, it's all in front of you. But if you don't take care of business this week, it doesn't matter. And, you know, if you can't get ready to play this team this week, this game from our home crowd, and expect to go out and play well, then there's something wrong. We've had good practices, we've had some time off, and we have a good game plan put together.
Do you want to see, more leadership from somebody in your defense? I mean, are you confident that you have good leadership back there, or do you want to see someone step up?
You know, it's this leadership thing is kind of been a thing that's been on my mind quite a bit. You know, Andrew is obviously leading us up front there with the interior, with the defensive line play. You know, we have so many new players in the linebacker and the secondary that just first-time players here. And, you know, it's about time someone kind of steps up a little bit you know, I had a conversation earlier today with someone else that, you know, on the football field, the Sam linebacker can't text to the safety that, you know, you need to get yourself ready to go. And that's a little bit of the world we live in right now. Can't email them, can't text them. And we got to be vocal, communication, be loud, be precise about it, and be demanding. And we need a little bit more of that, but I think it's coming along. But we're not going to use any of that stuff as excuses, so I'm not falling for the trap.